What's going on, creators? I'm back with another video, and today I actually wanted to give my honest opinion and thoughts of the LUMIX S1II. So I've been lucky enough to have this camera for the last 5 months. I was one of the creators. I was flown out to Texas when there was the announcement of the camera, or right around that time. I've been very used to using LUMIX cameras for a very long time now. I started off with the G7 and just went my way up all the way up to the S1H. And for a while, like when that camera came out, that was my dream camera. And obviously the one flaw was the autofocus. But ever since then, Lumix has just been on top of it with giving updates on the S5II, S5IIX, and it gets me really excited about the future of what they're going to continue to update with the LUMIX S1II. The first thing I want to talk about is the actual build quality. I think the build quality is great, and it's similar to the S5II with just slight modifications that make it just a lot better. Obviously, the tilt flip out screen is probably one of the best parts of the camera because you're just really able to get any angle, and I think Lumix knocked it out of the park with that screen. And then on top of that, the build quality just feels a little bit more premium than the S5II and S5IIX, but regardless, they're very similar in size, and I think I like that because I'm really able to just throw it in my bag, and if I'm gonna take photos, I just take it out of my bag and it's just easy to take photos. So in terms of the image quality, obviously it's using a 24 megapixel stack sensor, and it's similar to the S5IIX and S5II. Overall, you really can't complain about the image quality with these cameras because whether it's the S5II or the S5IIX, it all looks great. Like, I'm really able to get a lot of flexibility when it comes to color grading because there's so much dynamic range. The image quality is sharp, and I'm really getting used to shooting open gate, and it's pretty much the only feature I really use because a lot of clients that I work with always want 2 deliverables. So just continuing to use open gate and just getting a flow with it, it's just been a lot easier, and I just really enjoy using these cameras. So when it comes to the autofocus, the camera has been killing it. Like, I really haven't had any issue of the camera hunting. There has been a scenario to where it has missed and or just was hunting. So the only time that's really happened is in 2 different scenarios. The first one being, I was recently shooting for the Tampa Bay Suns, which is a women's soccer league. I just happened to bring my camera and I was taking photos. I was using the LUMIX S1II with the 100mm lens, and things were in focus, but because I didn't have so much access because I went as a guest, I just wasn't really sure whether the camera was in focus or not. I would have brought the 70-200, but obviously that's overkill, and I would need a pass for that. In terms of the battery life, I haven't really ran into any issues with the battery. Like, I haven't noticed it dying faster. Because usually when I have this camera, I usually rig it out, but when I don't have it rigged out, the batteries last pretty long. Like, I've been able to shoot for like an hour and a half, maybe even 2 hours with just one battery. And I have like 7 of these things. So like, it's not an issue for me when it comes to the battery consumption, you know? So when it comes to my workflow and the project that I make, it really depends on what I'm doing. One day I could be doing a soccer shoot, another day I could be doing like a restaurant documentary, another day I could be doing a concert or a music festival. It really depends on what I'm doing. Since moving to Florida, I'm trying to navigate my way around, so we'll see, you never know. But in terms of my workflow with the type of content that I do, I haven't had any issues with the camera, except that one shoot with the pickleball with the camera overheating. But that was really my first time, and I just moved the day before, 2 days prior, and I just had no time to really like dial in and prepare for the shoot, you know. But this camera does it all. I mean, SSD recording, I haven't really tried that feature. I mainly just shoot on regular SD cards, and I've never had an issue. I've never had a card fail on me. That would suck if it ever did. For any people that know, like, what would you do if that happened? With all the recording options, I mean, you name it, this camera just has everything on it. I haven't really shot with ProRes that often because I heard it just takes up so much memory. And then on top of that, I'm really just using OpenGate 24 and 60, but with the overheating issue, I might just get used to shooting again in 4K. But obviously, if I need to send a deliverable, I'll shoot in OpenGate. But for the most part, like, this camera just has every recording option that I would need for my company, so I'm pretty chill on that. In terms of the weak points of this camera, I can't really think of any. The only one is obviously the overheating, but other than that, this camera excels in everything that I need the camera to do. Like, this camera has been killing it for photography for me. This camera has been doing every video project and almost near flawlessly, you know. Obviously now that I'm in Florida, I gotta consider the heat, but for the most part, like, all I gotta do is really just watch what I'm doing, and I'm not really filming in direct sunlight either. I'm usually indoors regardless, so I don't think I'm gonna have that many issues with the camera, you know. Obviously with the autofocus, it's pretty great. Like, I haven't had any issues really, maybe 1 or 2 instances, but for the most part it's been flawless. And for any quirks, like, Lumix is gonna make an update at some point, so I think that's gonna be resolved regardless, you know. So yeah, these are just some thoughts of my experience using the S1 Mark II. For the most part, like, it's been really awesome using this camera on shoots. Like, I don't have a worry about the image quality. I don't really have a worry about the autofocus, like, at all. And the handling feels great. It's light. It's a responsive camera. Like, I've been able to throw everything at it, and I haven't had a client complain. For the most part, any client that I send projects to, they love how the project looks and also sounds. So I think whatever Lumix is doing is awesome, and I would love to see an update on maybe the autofocus being updated a little bit. And for the most part, here's my prediction. I think Lumix should drop a update on the cooling fan. I think they should add an additional setting where they're able to actually run more power with the camera so it doesn't overheat, but obviously that's going to be a battery consumption killer. But these are just some thoughts I've had using the camera since April, and shout out to Lumix for allowing me to get my hands on this camera early. And if you want to see more videos like this, feel free to follow my YouTube account and subscribe. And I'd love to chat with you guys. What do you guys think of the Lumix S1 Mark II? Because for me, it's perfect for me and what I do, and I love this camera. Catch you in the next video.